Like always at 6:58 on a regular weekday morning, our protagonist is traveling to Maibara on his usual train. He sees a familiar face that he recognizes well at this point. This face belongs to a girl who goes to some other school, and he doesn't have any information about her, but they always take the same train. His attention is always on that girl, but today he is feeling more nervous because, after all this time, she is finally sitting on the seat beside him. Every morning, he rehearses the questions he can ask her about her name and what club she attends, but despite his eagerness, he can never gather the courage to talk to her. His story of secret love, which only lasts for his 20-minute train journey, started when he first joined high school. He is not alone in his journey because many supportive passengers can see his emotions and desperately want him to make the first move. The situation started 4 months ago when he first noticed that the girl always got on the train at the same time as him. Judging from her uniform, he deduces that she might be a student at Rikudo High. An old office worker has noticed how he always keeps staring at the girl. About 3 months ago, the girl was absent from the train for the first time, and the passengers were surprised to see that he was actually trying to search for her. Another month has passed since the girl finally sat next to him for the first time. He was extremely nervous about sitting with her and tried his best to hide his smile from her so he wouldn't look weird to her. The 3 passengers usually easily notice how happy he is to sit beside her, and they are sure that he is already falling for her. Due to their shared interest in this strange couple, the strangers have already created a chat group to share their respective opinions. The manager is annoyed at the boy for not confessing his feelings, even after months of pinning after the girl. The office lady quickly argues that the suspense is good, and the university student agrees with her, commenting that confessing directly is not an easy task. He adds that the manager will understand it better if he confesses his feelings to the office lady right now. Taking his advice, the manager texts that he is always keeping his eyes on her, and seeing his terrified expression, he quickly backtracks, saying that he is just joking. Despite his clarification, the office lady replies that she might not take this train tomorrow, and the university students comment on how the confession from a stranger will make anyone cautious. They finally realize that the lover boy might have this thing in mind. As expected, the boy is already thinking that if she is a junior from Rikudo High, she will stop taking this train by next spring, and if he wants to know her better during this time, he will have to talk to her first. The situation makes everyone wish that they weren't in such a complicated situation, so the young girl would have talked to him like a normal passenger. The university student excitedly adds that the boy can just exchange numbers with her, and seeing his reaction, the other 2 passengers are sure that he uses this method to hook up with the girls. Oblivious to their chatting, the boy thinks that it will be weird if he directly approaches her after taking the same train for months, and he should think of some other common topic. The university student texts the group that the boy can talk to her on any topic, but he will have only one chance to make the conversation right, or else the girl might never take the same train. The boy is also thinking of something good when he suddenly notices something and lets out a surprise scream. Everyone, including the young girl, is startled by his scream. The group chat starts to get swarmed with messages. At the manager's question about his sudden reaction, the university student replies that the girl has a keychain of the character Cheyenne from a famous online game called Ganshin. The office lady quickly notices that the boy has the same keychain, and even though they are excited, the university student thinks that it is not unusual because the game is very popular these days. The boy finally gathers the courage to speak and apologizes for suddenly screaming like that. Stuttering a little, he asks the girl if she also likes Ganshin, but unfortunately, instead of the girl, an old man sitting directly in front of him replies that he also likes the game. The group chat is not happy with the old man jumping into the conversation like that when the question isn't directed toward him. Despite everyone's clear disappointment, the old man comments that it is a strange coincidence and asks the boy about his rank in the game. The boy is disheartened at the misunderstanding because it took a lot of courage to speak like that. Making the situation worse, the man starts talking to the girl, asking her about the key chain on her bag. Once again, the twist has left everyone shocked as the girl hesitantly replies that she also likes the game. She explains that she only started playing recently, and she only chose this game because it is very popular these days. The boy doesn't get a chance to speak as the old man once again interjects, saying that it doesn't matter what her motivation is, and she doesn't have to compare herself to others. She politely replies that she really likes the cute characters of the game, while thinking about how the old man is very kind. Everyone is eagerly waiting for what will happen next, as the boy asks her if she would like to play the game with him, since it must be destiny that they have a common interest. The chatting group has perked up at his bravery, with the manager praising his good move while the office lady is eagerly waiting for what will happen next. The university student is happy that they will get a chance to talk if she agrees to play the game with him, and they might eventually share the contact information. They are all waiting for her reply, but before she can say anything, the old man shyly asks if he really wants to play the game with him. Everyone almost shouts in frustration at his interruption. The office lady is annoyed at his confidence, and the manager desperately wants him to understand the situation in front of him. Without paying attention to his surroundings, the old man shares his contact information with the boy. The boy is once again shocked when he finds out that the old man gets off at the same station as him. In the meantime, the group chat collectively agreed that today was very exciting. The university student is happy that the boy tried his best and managed to find common ground with his crush, while the office lady is also amazed by how strange the unrequited love is. Once the boy gets off the train with the old man, another young girl, Himari, enters the train and starts talking to the young girl, Naeujin, sitting there. Everyone is surprised to find that she has a friend, and they are excited to find out more information about her. Just then, Himari asks her friend why she is blushing so hard. Naeujin replies that she was excited that someone wanted to talk to her and wanted to play games with her, but she is very embarrassed at how the situation changed. Her confession has shocked everyone. They want to call the boy back, who is already walking back home, disappointed that he missed his chance. Only after 3 days, including the weekend, does the boy get the chance to sit next to the girl again. Since things ended on a weird note when they sat together last time, he wasn't expecting her to sit close to him again. It makes him curious why she chose this seat, and he considers that it might be because there was only one empty seat, but he dismisses his own thoughts, knowing that it wouldn't be convenient for her to just choose this seat. He is sure that no one will want to sit next to him, and even though he wants to clear everything up by confessing, he can't bring himself to do this so early. Meanwhile, Naeujin is still embarrassed at getting excited thinking that he was talking to her, even though she was looking forward to playing the game with her. Their subtle glances at each other are not hidden by the other passengers, as the university student is sure that they both have a secret crush on each other. The office lady thinks that the girl always remains very serious for her age. Trying to figure out their confusing love story is giving the office lady a headache, while the manager is sure that his blood pressure is rising. Staying relatively calm, the university student says that this can't be solved by just saying that it was a mistake, and the office lady quickly agrees with him. When the manager asks them what they are talking about, the office lady replies that they were mistaken about the girl also having feelings for the boy. The university student adds that she was just feeling embarrassed at mistaking his gesture and wasn't hiding any feelings. According to him, the boy must be confused about what is real because every man remembers things like this. It worries them that if the boy tries to confess his feelings, the girl might reject him brutally, and it will really hurt him. The manager doesn't want to give up because he is sure that they are a perfect couple. The office lady also thinks that there must be some motive behind the girl always sitting next to him, so she just hopes the boy can pay attention to it. Quickly apologizing for not realizing it sooner, the university student comments that he wasn't aware that always sitting next to each other in a train is a sign of affection. His statement makes the other two blush as the manager quickly clarifies that he has a family at home, and the office lady also comments that she isn't doing this intentionally. Coming back to the unrequited love story, the office lady says that she is starting to get concerned about this because the boy might have thought the same thing at their last interaction. The university student only wants to think that they both harbor secret feelings for each other, and when they thought they were getting along well, a third person separated them. At this point, the manager is getting tired of hearing all this, but they ignore him. The office lady says that everything can't be good. She then adds that she might be wrong, but usually love is all about misunderstandings. The manager is confused by her statement, while the university student agrees with him, commenting that it is hard to tell the girl's feelings while the boy is very easy to read. Seeing them worried about the situation, the manager announces that he will solve the issue. In the meantime, the boy is busy bashing himself for being a coward because he can't even gather the courage to utter a single word. Even though they now have common things to talk about, and he can see how she got excited at the slight chance of talking to him. He is curious if she still considers him another strange passenger, which makes him wish that he was as classy as Sato from the soccer team. It would have also helped if he had any funny stories to tell her, but he is absolutely clueless about what he can do in this situation. His thoughts keep swirling around how he can't achieve anything by being scared like this and just mourning over the situation. Suddenly, the silence in the group is broken by the university student pointing something out and telling the office lady to look at the girl's reflection in the window because it looks like she is holding some kind of note with her book. The boy is thinking about finding the truth, even if everything was just a misunderstanding, when he also notices the note in the girl's hand. He is shocked to see that the note says that she also likes him, but before he can take any action, the manager quickly shows him the same book he is reading, revealing that it is just the title. The manager quickly updates the group chat that he is also reading this love novel and is frustrated by the situation. The office lady just shouts, "Why is he so desperate for love?" At the same time, the boy's heart is beating at an alarming speed, and he is relieved that he found the truth before totally misunderstanding the situation. The university student comments that she might not mean anything by it because it is not necessary that everyone who reads the book is in love. The boy also reminds himself that she is just another student who takes the same train as him, and she might not even notice him. He needs to stop living in fantasy and instead gather the courage to actually talk to her. Meanwhile, Naeujin glances at him sideways and is disappointed to see him looking the other way. When she reaches the school that day, her friend Himari warns her to be more careful when reading a book while walking and then asks her about the novel she is reading. Naeujin replies that it is the love story of a man and a woman who take the same train every day on their way to school. She continues that maybe it doesn't mean anything to the guy, but it is very special for her. She just wishes to thank him because, even though they didn't even talk with each other, she finds herself attracted to him. Himari points out how she mentioned herself, and Naeujin quickly explains that she is talking about the main character. Her friends are still suspicious, but Naeujin insists that it happened in the novel because, unlike the stories, she is the one most invested in this. Meanwhile, the three passengers meet after getting off the train as they all try to figure out if the girl is also in love with the boy and is waiting for him to make the first move. The boy, Hikichi, is awake at the late hours of night and is disappointed with himself for forgetting his English homework. He is worried that he will fail the subject if he doesn't do the assignment correctly, but even if he has to stay awake all night, he is determined to not miss the train. He wants to take the same train as the girl, no matter how tired he is. The next morning on the train, the three passengers are shocked while Naeujin sits very still as Hikichi peacefully sleeps on her shoulder. When he opens his eyes slightly, he is startled to see his position and quickly pulls away while apologizing to her. Naeujin whispers that it is Ok, but Hikichi is still in shock that he is actually learning from her and can just hope that he drew on her. Both of their hearts are beating very fast, while the three passengers are still bewildered by what happened. The office lady is the first one to comment, saying how she can't believe that young people these days can do something like this because all she did was slightly elbow the old man. The manager also shares how weird it felt, but the university student doesn't agree with them and tells them not to compare sad commuter trains with youth. Hikichi is still freaking out at doing something so weird, as he is worried that the girl might stop sitting beside him. He doesn't do his best to keep his eyes open, not wanting to fall asleep again and lean against the girl's shoulder. Despite his best efforts, he keeps swaying because of the sleepiness, and everyone around him is eager to see if he will give in again. The passengers want him to lean against her once more, but he wakes up when there is an announcement for the next station. Quickly looking around, he is relieved to find that his station is still far away, but he is not happy to find out that he zoned out once again, even though he is sure he wasn't leaning on Naeujin this time. The situation is really worrisome because the perfect temperature and shaking of the train make him very sleepy, regardless of how tired he is. Suddenly, he realizes that he shouldn't try so hard to stay awake since the only thing he wants is to stay away from the girl, so he will just sleep leaning against the window. Soon he goes back to sleep while the passengers are utterly disappointed at the solution he came up with. The manager is annoyed at the boy for trying to be a gentleman, and the office lady also thinks that he shouldn't be so focused on manners. The university student is the only one who has a different opinion, but the office lady almost shouts that there is beauty only gained when innocent boys and girls get shy while being closer to each other. Seeing her getting worked up like this, the university student tells her to stay calm because even if the boy is leaning against the window, they just have to wait for the right moment. At their confused reaction, he explains that after the tunnel, there is a very sharp curve where the train will move in such a way that the boy will naturally lean toward the girl. His gossip partners get really excited at his explanation and comment that the boy will not be able to resist the inertia even if he is sleeping. He mentions that they will soon be out of the tunnel, and the three of them get ready to see the contact between the girl and the boy. They are rooting for the boy, eager for the moment he will touch the girl again, while Naeujin is also nervous as Hikichi slowly sways toward her. Before they can get a chance to see the contact, they also start to sway badly because of the train's movement, barely managing to text in the group chat. The university student apologizes for being immersed in the couple, and in her panic, the office lady pushes her arm against the manager's neck. They are all startled when the boy suddenly apologizes for touching the girl again, and the office lady is disappointed to miss the contact. The university student points out how she is choking the manager, who is barely hanging on to life, resting against the opposite window. Meanwhile, the boy is fully awake now and realizes how he has done the same thing again. Even if he is sitting next to the girl, he has no memories of what happened, and he is sure she will hate him for leaning on her. He doesn't know what he will do if she changes her seat tomorrow. Before he can dwell on it anymore, the girl lightly touches his shoulder and tells him that they have reached his station. Quickly getting over his shock, he thanks her sincerely, saying that he will get off now. He takes a few steps forward when the girl calls him again, but he doesn't have the chance to hear her because there is an announcement about the door closing. He quickly gets off the train, still trying to believe that the girl has actually talked to him, even though it shouldn't be weird since they always travel together. Naijin is worried that he will think of her as a creep because she noticed him and also knows what station he gets off at. Meanwhile, Hikichi is very happy to find out that she knows about his station. Meanwhile, the three gossipers are also very happy to see that the girl is paying attention to the boy. In the excitement, the office lady asks if anyone has recorded their interaction, but the university student quickly reminds her that they can't film anyone like that. On another day, Hikichi reads his fortune in the morning and finds out that Kanserians have the chance to get acquainted with the person beside them. He is very nervous about what will happen on the train and is not sure if this will apply to him because there are many people with the same star sign. Despite his concerns, he has a feeling that something is different, and other passengers on the train have felt the same. After sitting in his usual seat, Hikichi is planning to apologize to the girl for yesterday if she sits beside him and keeps assuring himself that the situation will not be awkward. As the train moves forward, the prediction keeps swirling in his head, making him so nervous that he is surprised at how fast the train is moving today. The weird feeling stays with him, and even though he knows it can be a mistake, he can't deny that he is feeling this undeniable courage. When he feels the girl sitting beside him, he encourages himself to talk to her and turns around, saying that he wants to talk about yesterday, but to his shock, instead of the girl, the old man from the other day is sitting beside him. The three gossipers have a keen eye on his expressions, and the manager is a little confused about why he feels sad to see the old man. This old man is like a third wheel between the couple and has the same keychain as them. But in reality, he is just a normal guy who loves the online game Genshin. Ikichi comes out of his shock when the old man starts the conversation by saying that he is also a Cancer and has read today's horoscope. The group chat is annoyed at his obliviousness, as the office lady comments that he can't be the closer person and is very angry at him for ruining the boy's attempts to talk. The manager still thinks that the old man has done nothing wrong, and the university students also agree with him, while he is also curious about what the boy is going to do now. Just then, they notice the girl standing in the side corner, her face completely red from blushing. Nayu-jan is feeling very nervous about sitting next to Hikichi, and her hesitation makes the passengers more curious about what happened yesterday. The office lady guesses that there was no fight yesterday because the girl is still standing close to Hikichi. Instead of commenting on her statement, the university student says how the situation has become complicated since now the boy can't be disrespectful toward the old man because the girl can hear the conversation. It doesn't worry them much because the boy seems to have a good conversation with the old man, and since they like the same game, they also have a common topic. The university student is the only one who doesn't like the situation because he thinks that if they keep chatting happily, the girl will interpret that they are good friends and will give up her seat for the old man. This can mean that from now on, the old man will always take a seat beside the boy. At his prediction, the office lady worriedly comments on how their source of morning refreshment will end. The university students point out that the boy must be still very nervous and is trying to understand the situation. Meanwhile, the old man asks the boy if he played the ending of the second act in the time-limited event. The boy instantly perks up listening to his favorite game, and the group chat is not happy with how comfortable they are getting. Just then, the office lady points out how the girl is shaking violently. At the same time, the girl wants to apologize to the boy and join in the conversation about the game, but she can't muster up the courage to speak. Seeing her like that, the university student is sure that she is shaking because she is scared of losing her seat to the old man. Oblivious to the chaos around him, Hikichi is immersed in a conversation with an old man, who says it is the first time someone has liked the same character and he can discuss it. With a big smile, Hikichi replies that it is also his first time to talk about his favorite character like this. He feels like he is confessing his feelings, but the university student doesn't agree with him. The office lady also thinks that this is a confession, and she is worried about what will happen to the girl if they continue to talk passionately about the game. Naojin is dying to join in the conversation, while the group is sure that she is angry because the boy keeps talking about the game. The manager is annoyed at Hikichi for talking about the game at this time, but he is not aware of their emotions and just says how cool the character Cheyenne is. The old man adds that he felt like this was the Cheyenne they were eager to see, and Hikichi smiles brightly upon hearing about his favorite character. Naojin silently peeks at him while thinking about how it would feel to discuss something you love with a person you care about. Even if she attended the same school as the boy, she is sure that she wouldn't approach him, and it makes her wish that she was brave enough to talk to him every morning like this. The old man once again shocks everyone by saying that he would like to play the game with Hikichi when they are together on the train next time. He then asks if Hikichi always takes the same train because he wants them to align their schedules. The manager is concerned that the old man will always sit beside the boy from now on, depending on what Hikichi answers to his question. It makes the office lady worried that this sweet love story will end, and they are all just eagerly waiting for the boy's answer. As Hikichi opens his mouth to speak, Naojin quickly turns around, almost shouting at him to wait, but the old man surprises everyone once again as he says how he only takes the train in the morning for a few days. Hikichi is startled to notice that the girl has actually turned around, while Naojin is embarrassed at her sudden reaction. The group chat is also shocked by the situation and how the old man seems to be playing with everyone's hearts. The next day, Naojin is standing even further away from Hikichi, too embarrassed by yesterday's events to sit next to him. When Naojin sits next to him again, they are both extremely nervous to even look at each other, and everyone on the train can sense the tension. Surprisingly, the passengers are not very focused on the couple today because they are all distracted by the delicious smell of asameku. The office lady is curious about who brought the food to the train, while the university students just comment about how good it smells. The manager sheepishly admits that he is the one who brought the goods. The office lady has no objection to him bringing the food, but she is not happy that it is distracting her from watching the sweet story in front of them. Just then, the university student points out how the boy and the girl seem more fidgety than usual. The manager quickly clarifies that he didn't do anything, to which the university student replies that the good is not an issue, but he is confused about why the kids are so nervous. Suddenly, someone's stomach growls loudly, shocking every passenger. Naojin is embarrassed by the situation since she is sitting beside the boy, but she soon realizes that she isn't the one whose stomach growled. A girl sitting in front of them says that she is very hungry, and they both are relieved to know that she is the one whose stomach makes noise. Naojin is still regretting her choice to not eat breakfast properly because she is dieting. Hikichi is also very embarrassed at the situation, which would have been a normal occurrence if his crush wasn't sitting beside him. When the three gossipers notice how both the couple don't want their crush to hear their stomach growling, they are excited to see that the relationship is progressing. The university student comments that this is a natural thing, but wanting to keep it hidden from someone you like is part of new love. The office lady is also very excited, as she says that they need to pay more attention to the couple from now on. Suddenly, the office lady groans frustratedly, making the other two worried about her, and seeing them, she quickly explains that she is also affected by the smell of asameku. She is not happy with the situation because if her stomach growls, it will disturb her performance of the boy and the girl, which is like a stage play at this point. The university student adds how he is also getting hungry, and the manager quickly assures them that the smell of asameku is slowly fading. Hikichi is also hopeful that he will manage to suppress his hunger, but just then another girl on the train starts talking about what she is going to eat for lunch, and the boy sitting beside her adds a few more items to her menu, making everyone crave the food more. The office lady feels that it is illegal to mention the lunch menu at this time, and the manager also seems to be losing his appetite. The only calm person between them is the university student, who says that the good is not actually here, and they can't let their stomachs growl. Naojin is also barely controlling her hunger, but she suddenly remembers something and takes out a pack of gummies from her bag. The gossipers are happy that she has something that can help her hunger, but to their disappointment, the pack of gummies is empty. The manager notices Hikichi taking out his lunchbox from the bag, but he is not happy with this move because the boy will have nothing to eat for lunch. The thing that is more concerning for the university student is that the boy will be the one spreading the smell if he opens the lunchbox. Hikichi is not paying attention to anyone as he opens the lunchbox, continuing the curry, and the passengers are hit by another wave of hunger. The office lady thinks that today's ride is pure torture, and the university student is sure that some people will not return to the train. But he is worried about what will happen to the sweet couple. Naijin is sure that she will not be able to resist the smell of curry, and her stomach will growl soon. At this point, they are all just waiting to see whose stomach will growl first. The manager breaks the silence, saying that as adults, they can't just leave the situation as they want to see the kids getting shy and not embarrassed. He adds that before becoming the audience, they should act as adults. His partner agrees with him, feeling ashamed at being so immersed in watching the love story unfold. The manager continues that, as adults, the only thing they can do is help these children. He then suddenly offers his food to Naijin and Hikichi, surprising both his gossip partners that he was the one holding the food all this time. As they argue about his decision to bring the food to the train, Naijin pours herself a cup of tea, which gives Hikichi the idea to drink water. Suddenly, both of their stomachs growl loudly, but they don't have time to get embarrassed because the train is suddenly filled with the sound of growls from other passengers. The office lady angrily points out how everyone is suffering because of his food, to which the manager timidly replies that it can be because of the curry. The situation automatically becomes funny, which makes the young boy and girl smile instead of being shy in front of each other. Meanwhile, after the train stops, the maku and curry shops are unexpectedly filled with customers.